another live. I hope that and talk a little bit about getting focused and organized after narcissistic abuse. You guys know that I did a post. It was on the community tab. Make sure that you guys participate in the community tab because it helps me know what's helpful for you guys as far as videos and what can help you guys learn or just get advice from or tips or anything that you're looking for on this channel. When I post on there, if it interests you, make sure that you tap it and let me know what sounds good to you. But if this is you guys' first time watching me, again, my name is Joy. I am a narcissist abuse coach, and I've been dealing with narcissists since 2006, and since 2017, I have been helping former victims, now survivors, heal, move on, and recover after narcissistic abuse. So the community tab that I posted, I wrote what is something that you guys wanted to work on in regards to dealing with narcissistic abuse. What's going to be helpful on your recovery process. Now, I know a lot of people have told me different things that they could be, working through, trying to overcome. I put anger management. I know a lot of people deal with anger issues. I put some people could be dealing with stress and anxiety. Some people could be dealing with depression. Some people could be dealing with low self-esteem. And I'll also do another community tab just to see where you guys are at as far as your recovery process, because I know that everybody has different stages. People are on their recovery process. They may feel like, I'm not healing or recovering. Bear with me, you guys. Okay. Right. And things take time and it's just little baby steps. Right. So no need to worry regarding that. But yeah, you guys. So I just wanted to, talk about one person both going on, or maybe the narcissist is trying to distract you going on, or maybe the narcissist is trying to distract you, or maybe the narcissist is trying to get you upset. Maybe they know nobody really teaches us this to do, and it's really important, but it's a lot of times it's really hard for a lot of people to do. Hello, comrades. I hope I'm saying your name right. Hey, make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. But yeah, and so for me, I know it was a challenge getting focused and organized after dealing with abuse. Years ago, I was living by myself, and luckily I had the time to spend alone so I could, talk to God and have that relationship, build it with Him, and hear what God was telling me. And, getting focused is good because, it can kind of get you back on track and kind of, get you back focused on what's most important, which is yourself, your children, your family, your kids, your healing recovery process, right? So getting back to doing the things that's going to help you to take care of yourself, getting back to the things that's going to help you to stay organized, whether it's your daily routine, your daily priorities, your everyday things that you do, whether if it's going to school, going to work, taking the kids to school, whatever the case may be, or, doing things around the house like cleaning up, washing the dishes, just like little things like staying organized, or if it's like organizing your house or organizing your car or organizing just little stuff, right? So, and the thing about it is when you're dealing with abuse, sometimes you might want to sleep all day, right? Sometimes you don't even want to shower. Sometimes you don't even want to get up out of the bed. Sometimes you don't want to comb your hair. Sometimes you don't want to brush your teeth. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't even want to wash your face. So keeping yourself focused and organized is important. You can write it down too. Maybe you can make a list or something for the week. I know that helps a lot of people. Maybe you might want to have a to-do list or something like that, getting focused and organized. I know that that's definitely what helped me for sure. But just having a task of things that you want to do, things that you want to get done. Now, the thing about it, let's see. Mr. Neil, you say you don't want to pee. Oh Lord, I know sometimes some people, like when you are like maybe you're stressed out or you're depressed or you're dealing with abuse, there's a lot of stuff that you don't want to do, and some people are just, they may like, you're just really lazy, and because maybe they don't have much to do, or some of them may live with their parents. If you have narcissistic parents, narcissistic parents they're trying to control your every move. They want to be the one that's the dictator, or the authority figure. Narcissistic parents are like that. They want to have a say in what you do. They want to be involved. And I'm not saying that it's not okay to have your parents involved, but you just want to make sure that it's not on a control basis, because I know I had that experience where my auntie definitely was a narcissist, definitely was controlling. And I'll admit, maybe my dad had good intentions, but he was a little controlling. I'll be honest, I'll be the first to admit. Some parents are naturally like that, because I feel like, they want to feel like what they're saying, they're doing the best job that they can, or they're like, the advice that they are giving their children is the best advice because maybe they live longer, they have more experience. But a lot of the times, I'm not saying all parents, but some parents do not have your best interests. And it's really sad, because a lot of children, young adults, or even young kids, they tend to follow what their parents say. And a lot of times is because they want to be loved, they want to be accepted, and they want to be approved by their parents. And so they just go along with it. Or maybe they feel like that's safety, security when it comes to parents and things like that. So, it is what it is. Sometimes you don't want to, okay, I understand, Karims. So have you dealt with, anybody in this room dealt with abuse, narcissistic abuse in particular? And let me know, you guys, anybody want to share their mental health journey, or also share with us how you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 when it comes to your mental health. If anyone is in the room, on a scale of 1 to 10. Linda, you said good evening. How you doing? First time watching from New York. You are a natural beauty. Have a good day. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that so much. Mr. Neo, just joking. Or you were just joking? Okay. So yeah, so you do have a lot of that going on, but anybody chime in and let me know if there's topics you guys want me to do regarding narcissistic abuse or mental health or everyday events or just life in general. Share with me, please, you guys. Whatever is going to help the collective, that's all I care about, right? Hi sis, how are you doing today? Okay. So, yeah, you guys, so I was thinking, so when it comes to getting focused and getting organized, so the other thing is too, is you have to remember, you have to focus on yourself too. So again, and focus on what's in front of you, focus on your priorities for the day, focus on your daily routine. Hello, Kang, how are you? And you guys, whoever is in the room, let me know, how is your mental health today? Chime in on a scale of 1 to 10. How are you guys feeling? And can you guys believe it's October already? Isn't that crazy? It's October. It's Libra season right now. Libra season, and then it's going to be Scorpio season. So hello to all the Libras and hello to all the Scorpios. My dad is actually a Scorpio. His birthday is in November, so that's interesting. But yeah. So, but yeah, I just wanted to hop on here, and then also, we were talking about getting focused and getting organized, and also, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you guys know, I recently just came out with a new book, and it was basically talking about workplace trauma and the trauma that I experienced. Also, I did want to mention church hurt. Anybody in the room dealt with church hurt? Who all went to church today? Raise your hand. Did anybody go to church? And if you did go to church, you guys want to share what you learned in church? And just so you know, you guys, I'm not against church, but I do want to make a video talking more about that and how church has had an impact on me. I know it's funny because I ended up going to church with my auntie that was a narcissist. But a lot of the church trauma came from, when I was younger, like a whole lot younger. I would probably say like, when I was maybe like 12, 13, things like that. So You do have a lot of that going on. And Annette, you said thinking about leaving the country. You were thinking about leaving the country, Annette. What makes you say that, if you don't mind me asking? I know somebody that actually moved to Thailand recently. So me, you guys, I used to say I wanted to leave the country, but I don't feel that way anymore. I definitely love the USA. I am American myself, and both of my parents are American. So I definitely feel a lot of patriotism towards this country. I didn't really know how my family contributed to this country, the USA. Like my family built the country, even though they didn't want to build it, but they still built the country. And so I feel like, it's my duty to continue on and to help build, right? So, but before, like, because I study a lot about history, I'm really big on music, you guys, and I love history. Those are my top two things: history and music and food. My top things, and travel too, but those, music and history, my top things. So, and what I love about history is the fact that, it could, hopefully you can learn from what happened in the past so it can help you in your present and also the future, right? So that's the reason why I love history. But once I learned about, how my family specifically in this country, in the USA, contribute to, pretty much the culture of this country, and, pretty much built everything, was the foundation of, everything that this, what means to be an American. I'm like, oh, well, I pretty much need to stay in the country that my family, they built it, they died for us, they sacrificed, and, pretty much made a way for me to be able to, live accordingly, and what's interesting now is that you have people coming in from other countries that benefit off of what my family has built, so to me, I feel, well, it's only right that I'm able to benefit off of what my family has built, if that makes sense. So that I feel a lot of pride in knowing that how my family contributed to society. Because if you don't feel like you contributed to society, then you kind of feel like worthless. You might feel like you don't belong. You might feel like you want to leave. But once you learn your history and you understand how your people have pretty much paved the way for others to come over and to thrive, then you would be more like, okay, let me just stay and build. But it's nothing wrong if you want to move and go and explore the world. But as far as like living, I would live nowhere but the United States. That's just me personally. But yeah. And Annette, you said it's getting to be more and more unsafe, too much tension. Oh wow, okay. What's been going on, Annette? Share with us, share with the family what's been going on. And I consider you guys family, just so you know. Hopefully you consider me family. Maybe you might consider me like a big sis, a little sis, something like that. I definitely want to be that way. Or maybe just like a friend or a family member, just someone that has dealt with narcissistic abuse and a person that's just sharing it with others. That's all I'm here to do. Karims, you said, for me, unsafe to war, I think I will leave the country. So Karims, where are you? And are you in the US? I happen to know my history back to 1834. Okay. Awesome, Annette. That's wonderful. What have you learned, if you don't mind sharing with us? Just scrolled in Tampa, Florida, tapping. What's up? What's going on out there in Tampa, Florida? Are you unaware? It's quite a bit. But I used to be the type where I would be like, oh, you guys want to know where I used to say I wanted to live? I used to say I wanted to live in South Africa. I used to say I wanted to live in Panama. I used to say I wanted to live in a lot of different countries. But I mean, really, if you think about it, it's not really safe anywhere. Really, you want to know where it's safe? It's probably the most safe when you have a relationship with God. If you don't have a relationship with God, you will probably live in fear and you will probably run everywhere, because you can't really go somewhere and be like, hey, this is 100% safe, unless you're going somewhere where there's like not that many people. You get what I'm saying? So for me, I know it's rough, you know, it's challenging, it's difficult. There's a lot of things that you have to be careful of, but you know, once you build a relationship with God and you know that you're safe in him and you know that he's your protector, he's your defender, and he got you and he's not going to let anyone hurt or harm you without his permission, then you understand that okay, you have a God. You get what I'm saying? I'm not God, but there is a God out there that is protecting you and that loves you and cares about you. If you want that relationship, you get what I'm saying? I have a relationship with God, so I can say that to you guys on this video. But hopefully that made sense. I am from Lativa. Okay, Mercy, I was just enjoying your video, the vibe, the sound, everything, but what really caught me is you. Okay. Okay, I see. So, but yeah, you guys, and so really the biggest thing at this point when it comes to, okay, and that you're in the US. You're in the US, okay. That's good. What part of the US, and if you don't mind me asking? What part? Oh, you got bounced out? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys are on here. And if you guys are feeling called to, you guys know you're always welcome to leave a donation towards the ministry, Live Narc Free Ministry, where we help victims and survivors heal, move on, and recover after abuse. If you guys want to leave a donation, you're always more than welcome to do so. And you can do that via Cashapp, which will be at $Coach Joy 510, or at PayPal, which would be at livenarcfree9@gmail.com. So if you're feeling called to, I do appreciate it, because whatever you do give, it comes back to you tenfold. So I thank you in advance. And Annette, you're in Maryland. Okay, I love Maryland. So Maryland, there's a lot going on out there in Maryland. That's one of the smaller states. What's going on out there, Annette, if you don't mind me asking? I know that, so to answer your question, and that I know that there was a government shutdown. I understand that. And there's a lot going on. I definitely get it. But for me, I just feel, me being an American citizen, I feel that going to another country isn't going to solve the problem. But I feel like, of course, getting close to God is going to help. And other things will definitely help as well, but it's a lot. It's definitely a lot to handle. And knowing your history, when you learn your history and things happen, you don't internalize things as much and take things too personal, and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's a lot more to that. There's a lot that you have to do. You have to be careful of your surroundings. You have to be careful, like, where you work. You have to be mindful of, like, your spending. You have to budget, and, you have to be developed in, like, your economics. You got to learn about that. Like, there's a lot of things you got to study. You got to read. Okay, back to the 1834. Okay, your history. Okay, good. And there's more to it, right? So there's more than just knowing your history. It's like, you in a sense, nowadays you have to learn how to be creative. You have to be productive. It's not just, you just do the same mundane, go to work and, that thing. It's like you have to do more than that now. You get what I'm saying? To a certain degree. But it's definitely understandable. So who in here likes the thought of doing the 21-day challenge on getting focused and organized after dealing with abuse? Do you guys like that? Because I was thinking of, like, maybe we can do like a little, like, weekly get together and do the 21-day challenge together, and we can, like, chime in with each other, like, weekly. Would you guys feel comfortable with doing that? How does that sound to everybody? Raise your hand if you're in the room and you want to learn more about doing a 21-day challenge on getting focused and organized. Whatever it is that you're striving for, or whatever it is that you're trying to do, let me know. And if you raise your hand, send me an email at livenarcfree9@gmail.com, and we can set that up so that way we can work on that together, and it can help us achieve that goal of getting focused and getting organized, right? That would be great. You guys ought to let me know. You say you want to live in a place for once in my life where, yeah, I understand. And that it's, and really the biggest thing, I'll be honest, when it comes to, Black people, it's racism. I'm just being honest. It's unfortunate and it really shouldn't exist, but it does. And it's a real thing. And, being Black, I'm Black myself. And, both of my parents are Black as well. And, I had to deal with that my whole life. And I still deal with it today. And I think especially a lot of Black people like to maybe try to run away. And maybe they might think that they can go to another country and they think it could be better. But it doesn't get better. It actually gets worse. And especially like if you go out of the country and they hear you're an American, then yeah. So a lot of times, because I've traveled out of the country quite a bit, I've noticed that they try to overcharge you for taxis. They try to overcharge you for like little things when you go out and about, like when you go to the stores, when you like go grocery shopping, or if you're going out to a restaurant, they try to overcharge you when they hear your accent. I get that quite a bit. So it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So Annette, you said, dear, I am 63, plenty of finance. Okay, as long as Trump doesn't ruin it. Oh, okay, I understand. Understood. Were you gonna go? Do you have a particular country in mind? If you don't mind me asking. I have a problem with Trump. I'm not, like, to be honest, I'm not big on politics, so I don't know. I don't really choose either. Like, Republicans really not too big on the politics, but I do know that, in my opinion, I've traveled to many places, still got more places to travel to, but to me, the U.S. is a pretty decent country, I would say. So, and I know other people have other issues, that they deal with. Like, some people deal with domestic violence. Some people deal with definitely a lot of things that I dealt with. I'm just grateful to God that I was able to overcome it, because a lot of those things can take people out. So, I even had a person that did magic on me, so I'm just glad that I was able to even overcome that as well. You said you don't have to peel back many layers until you, yeah. I feel you in that, and again, I support what you do. So, if you go out of the country, that would be amazing. So yeah. But yeah, so basically, like I was saying, as far as getting focused and organized after the abuse, it takes time. It takes time. And, be easy on yourself, be patient, and just go slow. That's what I was saying. And don't think that, you're going to get over the abuse quickly. And again, I just want to let you guys know, if you feel a certain way after the abuse, or it's taking you a long time, I would just say that's normal, and try not to rush it, because what I find is that a lot of times when people try to rush their recovery journey, then it's like they go back to the same spot where they were before. So I would just say, just take your time when it comes to getting organized. And like I said, get you a journal or like a planner, and then write down your daily tasks, what you want to do. And that's helpful. And even, let's just say you're not dealing with abuse. Maybe you're just dealing with trying to get focused in your life. Maybe you work a job that you hate, or maybe you're just kind of in a place in your life where you just like, you don't really feel like you've done enough, or maybe you feel like you're doing things that you hate and you don't want to do that anymore. Maybe it's a good time to get focused and organized and say like, hey, I want to do something different, or I want to try something new. Like, maybe you might want to write down exactly what that is and how you're going to go about doing it, and having a plan, So I hope that made sense, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to, chime in with you guys when it comes to dealing with different traumas. Just understand, yeah, you will go through it, but if you keep God first in your life, God is really going to lead you in the right way. That's really, I'm telling you guys, my biggest, that has been the key to my healing. I'm telling you guys, like, it's no joke, no games, like, for real. Like, with God, like, I literally cannot do anything without him, So, And then you said, I stumbled into the stream just by scrolling, so I suppose I don't know. Okay, yeah, because it seemed like you were a bit off topic, so I didn't really know if you knew exactly what we were talking about. But yeah, so this channel is called Live Narc Free, Annette, and I pretty much help victims and survivors overcome narcissistic abuse. So you do have a lot of narcissists that do come to this page and they watch and they lurk. I guess they just want to know what's going on. And then you also have people that have been a victim of a narcissist, and they come in and they'll watch and they'll get some tips and advice that can help them in their everyday life. So, you know, that's pretty much what this is about here. But I know that there's people that come on YouTube and they just scroll through like the random streams. So maybe you were one of those people that did that, and that's normal, you know, no big deal. But if you were wondering, that's what this page is about. You can go to my website, and then if you want to learn more about the services and the products that I provide. But yeah, anybody else want to chime in on what I've said thus far? Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Anything else you guys want to chat about? Okay, Annette, you said I was raised by a narcissist and a person with, okay, borderline personality. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I lived with a narcissist for 5 years, so I definitely know the feeling. I had a male narc that I lived with. A male narc that I dated. Sorry about that. A male narc that I connected with for 4 years. So I lived with my auntie. She was a narcissist. I lived with her for 5 years, and I dated a male narc for 4 years. And then in 2016, I worked with an individual. He was actually a borderline. So that was pretty much my journey and how I started making videos, because I was really hurt, to be honest, because I never really knew that anything like that existed. And I was just like, this is not normal. Like, this has to be something that is, like, I had to do research, because I was like, this is like insane, you know? So yeah. I heard you say narcissism, that's why I stopped. Okay. Yeah, I mean, because I think you were talking about something else, and I was like, wait, I think we're on 2 different pages. So yeah. But no, it's all good. I mean, that's why, you know, I do go live, because I want you guys to come in the room. As long as you are understanding the topic, wonderful. If you don't know the topic, that's fine too. But this is pretty much, it's to help other people that had this type of experience. That's pretty much the reasoning for it. So yeah, that was pretty much the biggest thing on that. But yeah, when you've been raised by somebody that has had NPD, it does change you a lot. I know me myself, when I was living with my auntie, I was 17, and by the age of 22, I was on my own. So I mean, I definitely learned a lot from that experience, and I've learned how not to be, right? So she taught me what not to do, how to not behave, and the type of relationships and connections that I don't want. That's what my auntie taught me. And that you said my narc dad is dying. I'm seeing all kinds of the typical stuff that happens when they die. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Annette. But apparently they say when narcissistic parents get older, they get worse. And that's very true. A lot of them are very just bitter. A lot of them are very angry. A lot of them are hateful and very vengeful and bitter. And when they're dying, they want to make you miserable, right? And a lot of times they want to make you feel regret. Like they're really evil. You know, it's really sad. And a lot of them, they want to make you feel bad, and they pretty much want you to suffer. It's really sad how they are, but it's the truth, you know. And that's one thing that I take pride in this channel, is trying to be as honest and as transparent with you guys as much as possible, because I would want someone to be that way with me, right? But you know, you definitely have a lot of that going on. So but yeah, you do. You said he is Okay, what's that? The pseudo religious right now. He wants me to be forgiven for what he did to me. Oh, I'm sorry, Annette, for what he did. I'm gonna do a video on that, Annette. I haven't really talked about that religious, that word right there, so that would be a good topic. Thank you for mentioning that. The sweet tea. So yeah. But yeah, you guys, I hope that this was helpful. What do you guys think? And then I know a lot of you deal with stress, and the stress of abuse can be challenging, because think about it. Not only are you dealing with stress from everyday work life or everyday family life, but let's say you're dealing with stress from being, in an abusive environment. That can take a toll on a person. So again, getting organized and focused, that's really going to help a lot of you out. So let me know, you guys, if this video was helpful. Like I said, if there's any topics that you guys want me to do, please feel free to share it in the comments. You said, my point is, he can't be sorry for something he can't name. Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, let me know. Make sure that you guys let me know more about any topics that you guys want me to do, and then we can go from there. And like I said, if you guys want to do that 21-day challenge on getting focused and getting organized, I think that would be great, because like I said, I know I talk to a lot of people, and the biggest thing is getting focused and getting organized. That's really, really a big thing. Because like I said, because for me, that was a thing. Like I was all over the place years ago. And even like I was sharing with you guys, like the job that I was working at, luckily I was able to discipline myself, and I was able to control myself, because this was a female narcissist that I worked with. And a lot of times female narcissists are very vindictive, very vengeful. And so a lot of times they're could be doing something and saying something. They're doing it behind the scenes. They're not doing it up front, right? They might do it behind the scenes, or like somewhere like in a break room, or maybe by lockers and stuff like that. They may do stuff and say stuff, and they want to get you to react, right? And the reason why they want to get you to react, because they want to be like, look, see, I told you they was crazy. Look, see, like, because they already smeared you, right? A lot of narcissists, they smear your name. They talk trash on you. They talk down on you. They're projecting all of this negativity, doing all this crazy stuff. And, the reason why they're doing that is because they want to be able to point the finger at you and say, hey, look, I told you they were like that. Look, you get what I'm saying? So if you don't give them that reaction, if you don't give them what they're looking for, they don't have anything on you. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, a lot of people have to be mindful of a female narcissist, and also some of the female narcissists, they work with magic. I know that the individual that I worked with, she did magic on me, and things like that. And I do talk about that in my book, so make sure that you guys do get a copy of that. You can learn more, and all that good stuff. Let's see. But there's, okay. So yeah, you guys, so hopefully, like I said, this was helpful. Give this video a like if you liked it, you enjoyed it, if it was helpful. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.